Hey guys, Dragon Fang Dan back here again, and today I thought I'd do a little something different. I've been putting off making this video. I'm not entirely sure why. Might be a little bit more of a rambling style, a little bit of a tour guide through the start of my master set of Magikarp, and there's not any real rules for it, but I'll kind of explain as I go. Um, yeah, we'll just jump into it here and try and get as little glare as possible. Now right here, we'll start with base set. And as you can see, I've got little slips of paper for the ones I am missing, or at least planning on including. So this will be first edition that I'm missing, but I do have the Shadowless and Unlimited and fourth print. And now the difference with fourth print is the date on them, actually. Let's see if we can bring it a little bit closer here. Now, the Unlimited, I believe, says 95, 96, 98 Nintendo Creatures, then Game Freak, 99 Wizards. Now, if you look very close, right here, right at the end, let's see if we can get it to focus, instead of saying 99 Wizards, it says 99-2000 Wizards. So that's how you know it's the fourth print. And I believe that was mostly or entirely done for Europe. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I know there's a fourth print that they did, and they changed the very bottom text just a little bit. I also managed to find a Carpador, which I believe is the German version of base set. There are a lot of different languages of base set, which is why I've left a few slots open here. I don't expect to find any more, but I want to have a little bit of room and give base set a full page that it deserves. So then you'll notice on the next page here, we've got base set 2, and then Rocket. Don't have first edition of Rocket, and there's no other editions for base set 2. We've got Giovanni's Magikarp first edition. We've got Misty's Magikarp first edition. Even have the Unlimited and Japanese versions of those. I think they look pretty darn good. And then after this, we start getting into some very difficult to collect cards here. With, I would say, the Legendary Collection basic unlimited version being the easiest one to get out of what's left here. Because having Neo Revelations, Shining Magikarp, or Unlimited, those are both very expensive cards. And I wouldn't keep them in this binder anyways. I would put a proxy in here. I believe I have one proxy in here later on. I don't want to keep them all together. I like to separate out my cards, keep my more expensive ones in a different way rather than in binders like this. This would be a great one to find, Legendary Collection Reverse Holo, though I know that's not a cheap card. The Expedition card, that's one of my favorite arts. It's got the Magikarp jump meter here. There's a whole mobile game, the Magikarp Jump. That was a fun game. I mean, clearly someone at the Pokemon Company really appreciates Magikarp. Now the Sky Ridge card, just the base version of it, also extremely rare and quite expensive. Because the cards I put in here are, I would say, light play at worst. If I can locate them, I don't want to be just throwing cards in the binder. It's more about a quality find than anything. Because I believe this Expedition card, if we take out and look at it, it's not perfect, but it is in very good condition. You can see there aren't any scuffs or egregious whitening on it. Very cool card. Alright, now the next page, we're going to have a lot more that look very similar to this. Make sure it's focused here. Alright, we've got Dragon over here, got Fire Red Leaf Green, Team Rocket Returns, even from Deoxys, and we've got EX Holland Phantoms. We've got our Steel type Magikarp, the Delta species. That one's pretty neat. Got Mysterious Treasures. We've got Stormfront. Now there was a Championship Edition. I can't imagine that one's terribly expensive, but finding Championship Edition cards from those special decks is kind of difficult. And we got Supreme Victors. And all of the ones I'm missing here are going to be reverse hollows unless I note them otherwise. And we've got Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And now these ones get a little bit tricky because there's also a Gyarados half deck with a Gyarados stamp on it that I'm missing. Looks exactly the same as this one. It's got that little mark down there, but this is number 12 up here, and this one's number 19, it looks like. They numbered all the cards in the that set. So they all have the same art, except, you know, this one will have the hollow pattern, this one will have a different number. Just the kind of way it works. Some of these I found at the local card store before they started sorting things out quite as well as they did, and I was able to really build up most of this with some really cool cards just out of the bulk box. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got, so that's called Legends, Dragon Exalted down here. Then, oh, is this Legendary Treasures, I think, is this one down here. I'm going to have to start referring to my notes since I don't have them labeled. Ancient Origins, this is one set I've started trying to, I wouldn't say master, but complete as much as possible. Pretty difficult to find those cards anymore from that from that decade. Let's see here. We've got the Ancient Origin McDonald's card. I obviously was not collecting during that time, so I don't have any McDonald's cards from it. And once those are out of print, the finding McDonald's cards quite difficult actually. We got Generations. Easy to find these cards. Not so easy for these. Then they had a stamped Toys R Us version of Generations and a 20th anniversary that they put out in the UK. Now at the bottom here we've got the Shiny Mega Gyarados box Holo Promo EX143. Or, sorry, not EX, XY143. I looked at picking one up, but it wasn't quite the quality I wanted. It's a nice big jumping golden Magikarp. Sparkles shooting out of it. Very neat. Should have picked it up because it ballooned in price like 4 times what it was at that point. So that's unfortunate, but, you know, live and let live, right? Let's see, we've got this one is XY Evolution. These weren't, at this point, these are not too terrible to find as far as reverse hollows go. Then I believe this is Burning Shadow, or let's see, yeah, Burning Shadow followed by Crimson Invasion, followed by Dragon Majesty. This poor Magikarp dying on the beach. I like this one. It's got that, we'll call it Team Rocket cameo in the back there. Then we go over to Team Up, and you know, if you know anything about Team Up, you know that it's outrageously expensive. So yeah, even finding reverse hollows for it has been a little bit difficult. I tried to pick up some off of TCG Player, but every time I find like one reverse hollow Team Up card, I can't find anything else from that same seller, and I'm not going to pay, you know, several dollars in shipping for one reverse hollow Magikarp. So try and make it work as economically as possible while still growing my collection. Ideally with more Magikarps in this type of fashion if I can find more reverse hollows that I'm missing or first editions from the earlier sets. Otherwise I try and to find a full art or two that isn't too expensive if I'm picking up stuff like this. Because if you know anything about TCG players, sometimes those sellers just bulk mail stuff, cram it all into one envelope and send it out the door, and then what do? You hope and pray your cards show up correct and not damaged. All right, so during this time, they got a little bit crazy. So this one's the Magikarp and Wailord Full Art GX Team Up card. And then we've got the Team Up Magikarp and Wailord Full Art GX 161. So we're going from, let's see, I think one is kind of a full art, one's a special art, and then this one's the rainbow. They didn't call them alt arts at the time, but I believe, it's just more of a regular full art, along with this one being the one where Wailord is shooting Magikarp up into the sky. I think that's like $1,000 card now, and crazy enough, these full arts are outrageously expensive, in the hundreds for the most part. And the rainbows, just because it's team up, have ballooned in price. This one here is from Detective Pikachu. Pretty easy to find. Very cool card. I mean, I would have given Magikarp scales, honestly, instead of whatever fleshy version that they made this. Then we've got, let's see, Hidden Fates down here, followed by Rebel Clash. This is the proxy card I was talking about, because this is the 25th anniversary card from Celebrations, and it's gotten to be a little bit of a pricey card, so I thought I'm going to keep that in my binder along with my other Magikarp cards, so I thought that would be maybe the way to go. And let's see, what do we got here? We got the infamous Pokemon Go set, and we got Scarlet Violet base, we got Paldea Evolved, and then of course we've got the Paldea Evolved illustration rare. I don't have that one yet. That one's kind of on my next to hunt list. It's a very expensive card. It's come down a little bit from the spike it had, but I might have to settle for getting it in Japanese rather than English, just because of how expensive it is. And I tried to hunt for it. I really did. Pulled a lot of cards, pulled a lot of SIRs, but that one I was never blessed with. Haven't been able to find anybody that I could make a trade deal with either. It's a pretty loved card. Then we've got the 151, and I managed to get the Pokeball version from Japanese. I decided, after I printed all of these off and started filling the binder, I said, you know what I'll do? I will take this and put in the Reverse Hollow Master Ball version. Haven't looked for it really, but if you know somebody or you happen to have one out there, I'm always down for a trade of some sort. This one looks a whole lot like the back here. If you see that same artwork from Heart Gold Soul Silver, they brought it back for the Classic Collection deck, and you'll see they added this crazy amount of sparkle pattern to it. It's like kind of a SIR sparkle mixed with Cosmos foil sparkle. You'll see some of those little stars peeking through in there. Very cool. This one, they kind of did a different thing with the My First Battle. It's got the Squirtle stamp. So I think there's actually a couple Magikarp in there. So in my my page in my binder that I have the My First Battle cards, it's missing one of the Magikarp, but I thought it would look really good over here. And we move over into very modern for right now. We got the Destined Rival Misty's Magikarp. And I actually looked this one up the other day. The Magikarp Reverse Hollow in a 10. PSA 10 is actually going for quite a bit of money. And let's see, there might be a dot of whitening on there, a little dot of whitening. They don't print these quite the same. Oh, big dot of whitening down there. Might have to look around, see if I have any other Reverse Hollow Magikarps. oddly enough, don't have any graded Magikarp cards. But as I showed you, most of them that are very expensive are very expensive for a reason. They're older, except for this illustration rare here. So that ends the standard tour. But they have also printed other Magikarp cards, obviously. I believe there's a normal Tops, reverse hollow Tops, rainbow foil Tops. There might even be more. It's a little difficult to find information on the Tops cards. But I know there's they call them Lemon cards. Those are all the way back in 2005. Those kind of the see-through cards. Some I think might have cutouts, but more or less it says Magikarp along the bottom, and then it's got a picture of Magikarp, but the rest of the card is completely see-through, and it's plastic, obviously. So have a lot of room to grow here, but figured I would give you guys a little bit of an update on what the binders look like. I know I've talked about it to many people already, and it's just something I wanted to show off once I had it more complete, but I haven't been able to add anything other than regular common cards that are very, very recent. And yeah, like I said, I'm looking always to try and trade for some of these things if I can locate them, but finding people who have these are generally not willing to actually trade unless I just haven't found the right person. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, maybe a comment if you can, and tell me your favorite Magikarp card. Talk to you later, guys.